and they sort of wait for us to ask. So you can't wait for the right people to come around and to offer help. You've got to be willing to speak up and ask for it. My favorite anecdote for me personally, and the one that I sort of channel in my mind all the time, especially when I'm like super chicken to call somebody up, which happens like with great regularity, and then I like remember this, and I'm like, okay, you just got to do it. When my kids were in preschool, which you know was a really long time ago, they became friends with a cute little kid named Michael, and Michael's mom happened to be Kelly Ripa, and so the kids became friends, and the moms became friends, and we'd find ourselves together week after week, either at the YMCA where our kids were in preschool, or at my apartment, or her apartment, or the park, or somewhere we'd always be together. And I remember that I had an event coming up. It was around, 8 weeks or so away. And I thought, like, gosh, this woman has, at the time, 15 minutes of idle chit-chat with Regis every morning. Certainly, she can say a little thing or two about this Women for Hire event that was happening. I had it, like, all envisioned in my mind. I knew what she'd say, I knew what she'd be wearing the day that she said it, I knew what Regis's reaction would be. Like, I knew the whole thing. I played it through my mind. I was, like, so excited. I knew the emails and calls that I was going to get as a result of it. Like, I could sort of, like, see and taste and smell the whole thing. So I thought, okay, next week when I see Kelly, I'm going to ask her to do this. And next week, it came and went, and I didn't do it, and I remember coming home and saying to Peter, like, you know what, the timing wasn't quite right. Next week, I'm going to ask her. So next week came, and same thing happened. I came home, and I'm like, oh, no, it wasn't quite right. Next week, I'm going to ask her. And this little, like, next week thing, time wasn't perfect, time wasn't right, went on for, like, 6 weeks. And finally, Peter said to me, like, if you don't ask, I'm going to ask, because I'm sick of you watching you practice in the mirror like a big shot, only to come home empty-handed, like, time and again. And so now it was like my pride was on the line, and the event was now 2 weeks away. And so finally, I was like, okay, Kelly, listen, I gotta ask you something, and I hope you're not gonna be mad at me, and it's okay if you want to say no, and I hope you're not gonna, be furious, and I hope you don't think that I'm using you. And she was like, spit it out. I gave this, like, whole long excuse thing up front. She was like, spit it out. And when I told her what it was, she said, yeah, of course, absolutely done. And the next day talked all about the Women for Hire event. It was even better than I had envisioned it to be. And I think about that moment all the time because I now never say, like, hey, listen, I gotta ask you something, but it's okay if you say no. Listen, I hope you're not gonna be mad at me. I never now start with those kind of weak, ridiculous disclaimers. Like, if it's important enough for me to ask, like, hope you don't say no. I mean, obviously there's a chance that you can say no, but I'm not gonna kill my chances before I even blurt it out. And more importantly than that, I don't wait for the moment to be perfect. And too often,